Next clip, please, or next picture. I don't know, I was given 45 minutes. I don't know how I've done, but I guess I got about 15 minutes again. But to be honest, what's happening in the Guanapo area is extreme. It is not the norm around the country. However, what I've noticed is that there are extremes in different fields all around this country. If it's not the dump in one area, it's pollution or industrial discharges in another. If it's not that in that area, it's improper sewage treatment in another. So we are facing dire systemic problems in this country. And the political will doesn't seem to be there yet. I say yet because I hope to God somebody figures out that we need it. Because there are things taking place in this country that are going to have repercussions for the rest of us and our generations to come. Right? If we don't do something about it, start at least doing something about it. You know, I'm working on projects as diverse as, you know, of water treatment issues. We have the Crowne water treatment plant, which is where this water I just showed you ends up. Right? The Guanapo River and the El Cedro River drain down near Guanapo watershed and then join the Crowne River, which then travels down to Baipiaco, and then they suck it in, and they say they're cleaning it, and then they send it in the pipeline for 30 to 40% of the country. So 30 to 40% of our country is drinking water that could potentially be containing that black leachate, right? Don't panic. You wouldn't dead today. Right? No, I'm serious. It's really quite worrying. But we have an opportunity through forums like this and through the one everybody here is invited to go home and click on your Facebook page and go and check out Trinidad Warriors and click like and start contributing. And, you know, we try to do as much as we can. It's very difficult always to be looking for new topics and different things to be putting up all the time. I try as hard as I can, but, you know, when I couple it with going into the field and actually getting feet on the ground and whatnot, it's quite difficult to keep it updated. So it's nice to see when people take the initiative and actually, you know, post something that they're doing, or if you don't like how it goes up, you can always send it to me and I will do it for you. You know, people do that to me all the time. They'll be like, yeah, I don't want my name on it. And I took a picture of a man throwing this in the river and I want to be in, so you do it, right? So I'll do it. I'm not afraid, right? So I will do whatever you all send for me. I'll put it out there if it's relevant. I think that's all I have to say on that for now. If there's anybody who has any questions, I'll see what I can do.
I'm from Tobago. Do you all have a branch or any programs you all are doing in Tobago?
Trinidad Warriors is independently funded right now. We don't have funding from anyone.
Okay.
So it's very difficult for us to, we get to Tobago occasionally. In fact, one of our founding members, Mark DeVertai, who has now gone on to form a group called Papaboa Conservation, he's quite regularly in Tobago. So I believe he's becoming quite active over there, especially with the lionfish extermination project, in which he's trying to kill all the lionfish in the sea. So,
okay, thanks. I enjoyed your presentation a lot.
Thank you.
There were, I'd like to ask a few one question actually on the topic.
You can ask a few if you like.
No, it's okay, just one. Sorry. Just one question on the topic, which was raising our voices, empowering the youth. What I was wondering is if you, yes, lots of these groups that are on Facebook, do you believe that they are over-sensationalization, engaging in lots of over-sensationalization and not actually giving the facts to the people if they're doing lots of things like what the Coney 2012 video has done, that they've just shown an exaggerated side of the thing and not offered people a chance to actually...
An objective look.
Yes. So do you believe that lots of groups are actually doing this? And I was hoping that you would have mentioned this in your presentation. Thank you.
And you know what? Thank you for bringing it up. And that was a very good question because it has happened on Trinidad Warriors a couple of times in recent weeks. It is normally not an intentional desired result. However, sometimes when we post something, there's a knee-jerk reaction from the online community that wasn't expected. I think that I can't really speak for other groups, but I can try and address it in Trinico Warriors. And I think that what is going on right now is that Trinico Warriors took off really quickly. I don't think that we were prepared for the sort of, we started in 2010, November 2010. And at the time, there were two stories that I started the group with. One was the Point Lisas industrial estate and an incident that took place with me down there. And the second was the fact that it was still legal in Trinidad to hunt and kill and sell turtles, right? Marine turtles. That's what started it. Now, initially, we put a video on the page that was quite graphic, blood and turtles being slaughtered and whatnot. And Chinese, they like all that kind of thing. So our numbers just went, right? And then, of course, this guy, Pete Bethune, who is on that TV show, Whale War, runs a group called Earth Race Conservation. Pete is from New Zealand. He came here and to film an episode with us for a pilot series he was producing. Unfortunately, it never panned out for him. But he came here, and because of his, he had a little bit of a celebrity status. Of course, Chinese like that. Numbers went up again. We saw about 3,000 in one day just because he landed in Trinidad, So we do see those 3,000 people I never hear from again. Anyway, I'm not, you don't like it, well, I tell you. The thing about it is, yes, I agree with what you said. There are incidents where sensationalism is taking place, and it has made me be more careful about checking my facts before posting. I think that as the internet becomes more into people's lives, it's pretty much in mine now. But you know what I'm saying? As the internet and social networking becomes, I think we're still trying to find our footing, and people are now starting to work out the rules in detail. Because that does happen. It's a good question. Anybody else?
Good day.
Good day.
Now, I noticed that you said a lot of the governmental agencies are giving you a lot of fluff and not really acting on their word. Now, the purpose of this forum was to bring youths and get them involved in the decision-making and active in the conservation of the environment. Now, what do you think are ways that the youth could help the government in actually acting upon their words?
Another good question. Ways in which the youth can actually make a measurable difference in government agencies is very difficult, because I think the best thing to do, if I had the ability and the control and the wherewithal to pull it off, I would like to stage some sort of a protest and film the entire thing, but with only school children, because people react to that. A bunch of people sit down on the highway down south, right? I'm sorry for those folks. I feel real bad. I really do. I've been down there and I filmed the place and I've seen what they're going to do down there. And nobody said anything about the Oropouche Lagoon yet. They're going to destroy the Oropouche Lagoon, which is an environmentally sensitive area. It's not designated one in Trinidad, but it is. It's a wetland, right? And as a matter of fact, the Wildfowl Trust is the NGO in Trinidad that utilizes that part of Trinidad more than any other. They release their birds there when they rehabilitate them or breed them. So to me, it's a case of how come we're not hearing from the Wildfowl Trust? Perhaps it's because they're funded by Trin. I don't know. Maybe. Right? But to answer your question, I think that very visual, impactful methods are what seems to work best in Trinidad. You could sit down in an office and talk to a minister, or you could send a petition into a minister. How he get? He could have get straight away and tell you he ain't get. Right? So I think it's a case of actually making visual. I have a plan to do some things in this country, but I know they'll lock me up. No, I'm not saying, I'm not kidding. I'm not nothing to hurt anybody or harm anything, you know. I talking about, okay, one plan, for example, I found 2 big tractor tires on a beach the other day, right? Each one is big so. They weigh about 400 pounds, right? I loaded them on my van, I took them home, and I spray power wash them, right? I varnished one black, so it's looking like a new tire, right? But it's big so, right? And I paint one white, and I put the big Trini Eco Warrior logo in the middle, and I want to put that thing on the highway, but not in the middle of the highway to block traffic and thing, yeah? But right, where people could see it and begging for tire recycling. But if I put that there, they're gonna first of all they're gonna come and find me, they're gonna lock me up, right? They're gonna charge me for littering, right? Yeah. I gotta pay $1,000 fine, right? And then what? And then what? Then they're gonna say, you're not Trini quarrel for this trouble. I can't do that. So you know, there are things that need to be done, and it takes support, and it would take a group of people with some, excuse me, some cojones to actually stand up and for what they believe in. Good question. Anybody else?
Do you think that the youth in this country, do you think they have what it takes to see the difference that you would like to see? Because we know a lot of them, they may not be environmentally motivated, but do you actually see a path where the youth can make the difference that you desire?
Yeah, I have ultimate faith in young people, children especially. I think that, you know, whatever, they're like computers, whatever you put in, you get out. You know, you're not going to teach a child A and he's going to spit out K. You know, he's going to do whatever it is or she's going to do whatever it is you're putting in their brains. So I have ultimate faith in them. It's the teachers I'm concerned about, more so than the children. The children are not really the problem. Maybe not you, ma'am, right? But but it's the teachers out there in the primary schools and in the secondary schools who are they have the future of our country here, you know, in their hands. And they're the ones who are going to need to actually sit up and start to care about the environment. And I know there are many teachers out there who do, and I hope that if anybody sees that tape that lady is filming over there, that they don't take it personally, right? But there are, you know, some people out there in this country who are, it's almost as though they're belligerently anti-environmentalism. You know, it's like they hear that there are people out there who want to protect the environment and want to make a difference and whatnot, and they go out of their way to work against them. And I've seen it, and you may think that this is, you know, but out there in the field, you meet these people, and they are very difficult. I've ended up nearly in fistfights with people out there in Tamana Mountain and all kind of thing, you know, trying to save a porcupine and all kind of stupidness, you know. We got the porcupine, I say, you know. We got the porcupine. Good question. Anybody else? Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kyle. I think that, oh, there's another question, Kyle. The last question.
Oh, you have, you see? Sponsors again. I'm only kidding. You're English.
Hi, good day. I was wondering, what do you think, I go to secondary school right now. What do you think we could do to encourage our players to start being environmentally aware and start doing stuff to help? Because it's hard for us to get them interested. Mm-hmm. So what do you think?
Agreed. And I think that the only thing you can do is lead by example, right? You have to just go about whatever you believe is right, and who don't like it, well, I tell you, right? You just do it, and then you spread the word. I said it. I think it was on one of the slides there. Each one teach one, right? You know, you learn something about the environment. That's what I do. As soon as I learn something up, I put it up on Trini because I know there's probably more people than I could tell, even though I've talked plenty, yeah? But, you know, it's a case of getting the word out to as many people as you can. You can't force people to do anything, right? And trying to believe that you can is only going to frustrate you.
And had to make the faculty of our school want to help us as well, because they put all the responsibility on us, and we can't tell the students what to do, but they will have a greater influence on the student population than us. So I would like to know, what do you think we could do to try to get them on our side to promote it in our school?
Okay, you're a student there or a teacher?
Student.
Okay, because I got
Form 6.
I got a little confused. Okay, well, you're telling let me make sure I'm getting this right. You're saying that the faculty at your school is not supporting environmental efforts that the students are trying to initiate?
Like last year, we tried to introduce recycling.
Yes.
We reached our teacher who was in charge of the club, talked to the principal, and we never got any
assistance. Nothing. That is exactly what I was saying. You know, people say, am I concerned about, do I think our children have the capacity? Yeah, our children have the capacity. Do our teachers have the capacity? I'm not sure they do, because they grew up in a generation where these sorts of things weren't important. Right? And these sorts of things didn't matter. They were the generation that created this disposable generation. Right? They're the ones that decided, okay, well, everything's going to be made of plastic, and we're not going to make toasters that you can repair anymore. We're going to make toasters that you could just throw away and buy a new one. Right? So nothing is designed anymore to last any more than 5 years or maybe 10 at a stretch. Right? Now that mentality they grew up with. They grew up with, you know, throw your thing on the ground there, go somewhere and whatnot, right? And we are still doing it because it's being perpetuated. The teachers need to take a more hands-on approach in our schools, and I think that the Ministry of Education should, you know, think seriously about, you know, mandating an environmental training seminar or whatnot that teachers have to go through. I think that, you know, there are teachers out there that are, you know, that are just severely lacking in environmental concern, and I'm very sorry to hear about your problem, but if you give me a call, I'll see if I can talk to him.
Right. Thank you.
Right.